Do you know the cheapest way to stock up on all your dried ingredients? Let's talk about it. Hello everybody, this is Deb from Just Do Something Homestead. And I keep saying this, but it is a beautiful day in West Virginia. This year, the fall leaves are just out of this world. I kept seeing this tree from the house and I'm like, I need to go down and see what kind of tree that is. It is huge and it is beautiful. Well, as I somewhat expected, it is a beautiful oak and our property is just covered in oak trees. If you are brand new to our channel, we are Just Do Something Homestead, and Jim and I bought this farm, about 2-3 years ago in West Virginia. I was a country girl, Jim was a city boy, and our worlds came crashing together. We had both lost our spouses, raised our children, and to be honest, we were by ourselves and not real happy to be alone. So we got married and lived in the suburbs for about 10 years, but to be honest, I was pretty miserable. So we left everything and everyone and started a new life on a farm. Know what those are? Those are persimmons. And you know what? We have zero regrets. If we can do this in our 50s, trust me, anybody can do this as well. Our strengths were our survival skills, both for in the city and in the country, and we combined those skills to live our dream. So let's jump into today's topic, which is the cheapest way to preserve dry ingredients. Not only will we talk about the advantages of vacuum sealing food for long-term storage, but I'll even share the cheapest place to purchase this food, and it is not your local grocery store. Okay, let's head back to my pantry. We are back inside. This is my pantry, and if this is the first video you've ever watched that I have made, you may not realize that I love to vacuum seal. And this week, something very odd happened. I ran out of oatmeal. It's odd because I stock up on all my dry ingredients, so to have it suddenly gone, I was like, whoa, what happened? And that's when Jim admitted he's been eating oatmeal every day for breakfast. Now you may wonder why I don't know what he eats for breakfast. Jim gets up at 2:30 in the morning and works a 12-hour shift. I ran into my local Martin's, which is the same as Giant, to grab some organic quick oats. And what I discovered was this container was just under $5. And at that point, I said, absolutely not. I immediately came home and started doing some research of where I could find inexpensive, certified organic, quick rolled oats. And that's when I discovered Grain Millers. This company is out of Oregon. I actually ordered it on Amazon. 25 pounds for less than $70. And that comes to $2.72 a pound. So today, we're going to vacuum seal it all. The main reason that food goes bad is that it's not stored properly. And one of the best ways to store your baking ingredients is to vacuum seal it. Vacuum sealing removes the air from your container. Air is what makes your food go stale or get destroyed by insects. And if there's no air, then insects can't live and rodents can't get into your supply. In order to vacuum seal, you're going to need a few things. First is a quality vacuum sealer. This is my Food Saver 5200 series. I actually own 2 of them. My other one is about 12, 13 years old. I decided I better get a backup, but you know what? They both work perfectly well, and they have had some hard labor. Whichever vacuum sealer you go with, make sure that it has a port. This system is what's going to plug into the adapters on top of your jars. This is my adapter. I ordered this from Amazon, and it comes in a 2-pack. This one is for wide mouth jars. I also have the regular mouth. Next, you're going to need some canning jars. I prefer to use the half gallon whenever I'm doing big items such as baking ingredients. I don't like to have them into small containers unless it's something like salt, because salt lasts a very long time, so I keep that in a smaller container. You're going to need some flats or lids. They look like this, and rings. Here's a little hint. This is a paper towel rack that I got from $1.25 Tree. But for $1.25, it holds all of your rings really nicely. Did you know you can use your lids over and over again for vacuum sealing? As long as this lid continues to seal, it is good. Need to remove the Sharpie? Just use a magic eraser. Rub it back and forth and that will immediately come off. You can see it lightly behind the new label, but trust me, a lot easier than using tape. I like to use a wide mouth funnel. It's definitely not a necessity, but it helps me from getting my oatmeal or other dry ingredients all over the countertop. Other than that, all I need is a Sharpie. I've taken this 25-pound bag and put it on a bucket down on the floor. That makes it so much easier to scoop into my jars. And the very first thing you do is, in fact, fill your jars. When you're purchasing in bulk, it is extremely important that you take care of it right away. That's going to keep it the freshest that you possibly can. You want to wash all your jars in hot, soapy water the night before. Let them air dry so there's no moisture whatsoever in that jar. I'm going to be doing 7 jars at a time. It's just a little bit easier to do it when you have a bulk amount of ingredients to vacuum seal. Once your jars are filled, you're going to want to start shaking it and pounding it down so that this will settle lower and you can put more quick oats in your jar. Each of these jars started up here. That's where I had filled it to. And now look at this. It's gone down several inches. So I'm going to fill each of these jars again. I had never ordered green millers before, but I got to tell you, I am impressed. This is a high quality product. Once the jars are filled, I'm going to use my clean hand and wipe the rim of every jar. Now, one of the reasons that I am doing oatmeal is that I find it's one of the most used items that we stock up on. I can use it for cooking, whether it's for oatmeal or as a breading for meatballs and meatloaf. You may have heard me say before that I'm allergic to yeast, so I cannot use breadcrumbs in my recipes. Oatmeal works perfectly. I can feed this to animals. I can either make oatmeal and my chickens will eat it, or I can just give them the raw oats. Either way, oatmeal is one of the best foods that I definitely stock up on. Typically, I would then take my flat and put it on top of the jar. But I had a viewer that said, no, don't do it that way. Instead, take the adapter, turn it upside down, and place the flat inside the adapter. That way it's perfectly centered, like that. And then put it on the jar. Okay, we're going to give it a try. You're going to plug the port into the hole on the top of the adapter. Make sure it is good and down as far as it'll go, just like that. Then turn on your vacuum sealer and hit accessory. Remove the port. Ooh, did you hear that sound? That tells me this jar is definitely sealed. And take off the adapter. To check this seal, what I'm going to do is try to pull off the lid. And I must say, by using the lid in the adapter first and then placing it on, this lid is perfectly centered. So thank you very much to my subscriber who suggested that. It really worked well. Another sign that it is sealed is the center of this jar will be sunken down just a little bit. And the last step is to put on the ring. And yes, you can go back to all my videos. Your vacuum sealed product should be stored with a ring on it, which is the opposite of canning. Canning you store without rings, vacuum seal with rings. At this point, I'm just going to continue vacuum sealing all of these jars, and I will be back with you when I'm all finished. So how many half-gallon jars does 25 pounds go into? 14 half-gallon jars. Now for a little math. If we use one of these every 2 weeks, That means I have 28 weeks of oatmeal. Now, of course, that's going to change because the holidays are coming and I'm going to be baking a lot more. Now, I could write the date and what is in there on the top of my jars, but I know all of my oatmeal is organic, quick oats, and this is only half a year's worth. And for all of you worried that my jars are going to fall off my shelves in an earthquake, we have never had an earthquake here, but yes, we are building some new shelves for my pantry. It just takes time. If you enjoyed this video on how to vacuum seal inexpensive organic oatmeal, please like, subscribe, and share. Have a blessed day, everybody. Bye-bye.